What's up, everybody? Tuesdays with Todd for August 23rd, 2011. Finally back again after a couple weeks of absence. Just got a few things to get through tonight. I want to try to wrap this one up quick and get to the basics. Get to the basic information. Let you guys know what's going down. So, Huck Jam 4.5 was a big success. I appreciate everybody who showed up, came out, hung out for the day. All the parents who drove the kids up, down, sideways, left and right to get right there. We had over 20 fingerboarders from all over the country. Phil from Aphlikshun came in, drove in from out west, and about a 10-hour drive. So that was awesome to finally meet Phil. He's a great guy. People from Nashville, Kentucky, Ohio, Chicago, Indiana, all over the Midwest, man. Everybody just converged right there. It was awesome. Just want to let you guys know that is officially the last Huck Jam event. There will not be any more Huck Jam events using that name. I will tell you, however, there is something that is being planned at the moment that will probably make you crap your pants. No, for real though, Justin and I are working together on something, and as soon as we get that nailed down, we'll let everybody know. You just want to definitely keep your options open for next summer. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, yes, want to let you know that. Just a bit of news, and we're going to cut it short tonight. I'm going to get up here and show you guys a couple things. First things first, Friday night on the website, finally, after like 6 months, the Curb Snot fingerboard wax will be available. This shit ain't just melted candles, and it's not. That's what it says on there. It's not. I didn't just melt up a bunch of candles or candle wax. I actually experimented with different additives, blends of waxes and oils and things like that, and tested and came up with a what I think is a perfect blend of goodness. And as you can tell, this isn't a lip balm tube, but it's convenient. You're fingerboarding, you just drop it in your pocket, you pick it up, and then actually they are shrink wrapped. They're not produced somewhere. These are actually produced in-house, labeled, shrink wrapped, melted, the blend and everything in there at the house right here. So one thing to let you guys know, due to what is in the mix inside, the way that this stuff, when it is melted and locks down onto the rotating mechanism, due to what is in the mix, there's a chance that as you rotate it and you go to, because you're supposed to go up and then come back down, there's a chance that that bond right there may break. It's not a big deal. The wax still stays in. All you do is just turn it back down, push it down with your finger, put the cap on. It's not a big deal. I've had a couple of them do that. And again, I can't really help it. It's because what worked best didn't necessarily work best in these, but I was bound and determined to get them in here. So, So obviously you don't want to put this on your lips, but it's a nice blend in my opinion. Seems to work really well. These will be available on the No Comply site Friday night. I'll probably give a few of these away on orders over the weekend too, so be sure to check them out, guys. Let's see here, what's next? Real quick, what I'm going to start doing Friday, and you guys may have seen that the Ammon Wilkes Real Wear add-on test thing is on the site. Basically what I plan to do now for a while is do real wear decks, but since the graphic goes on after the deck is molded, obviously, it only makes sense to give people more options. So what I'm going to start doing is any graphic, on any deck, any No Comply brand deck that's on the site. So basically what you do is you buy your blank, and then you choose your graphic, and if you want a graphic or if you don't. So you can have a graphic that used to normally only be available on, like, say, Push M2, or like mine is on a T1, my Garbage Pail Kids. You could get that on an M3 if you want, or Ammon's graphic on a T2. you know, to me, in my opinion, it makes sense, you know, to give people more options. And, you know, so, and there's a few new graphics I have. I think there's a total of 17 or 18 graphics that'll be available. A few new ones, some old school ones that I've had, some classic ones and whatnot. So those will be available Friday night on any of the blanks we have in stock, with the exception of Econo Woods. None of these graphics will be able to be put on there. Also, you must purchase a blank to purchase the graphic add-on. Obviously, you can't just buy this, you know, for, you know, without a deck, because it has to go on. So anybody that does that, I'll just refund that part of the purchase. But the price will be $4.99. Again, each one is put on after the deck is pressed and finished, completely finished. So, you know, it makes sense to get that option. So, you know, your blank deck plus the graphic, you're still like $26, $27 for, you know, a realistic wearing graphic deck with a free sheet of foamy jade. So it's still not bad. So check it out, guys. The M2 wide mold, 32 millimeter wide mold, is delayed about a week or so longer. I had a problem with the mold, had to go back and start reworking on that again. I did have a couple decks that I was able to get out of it, but it's, you know, the mold basically failed on me because of the way I make them in the beginning stage. So I had to redo that. So it's going to be about a week or so longer before those are ready to go. So you guys be sure to check that out. A couple more things here right quick to show you. The new mold I've been working with is, if I can get this up here, it's it's about medium concave and low to medium kicks. Basically kicks are symmetrical in height wise. Normally I do 1 or 2 millimeters higher on the nose, and you know, Wilkes Wilkshake mold deck is symmetrical, so I do those on occasion. But this one here has a different profile, you know, an outline shape, and you know, a couple things about it. This is the mold that I'm using, and I gotta admit I like it the best so far out of any of my molds that I've done. So even better than the T1. I don't know, I just like this thing. So, but one thing you can notice here, and I use this plain one, so maybe you could see it easier, is it's 32 millimeters wide at the truck holes on the nose end and 31 millimeters wide at the tail end. So it's, you know, a tapering kind of shape, and the profile shape is a little more realistic in that it's more elliptical rather than, you know, blunt, you know, like some of my other ones have been. So it's a more tapered, realistic look. And it also does have the bowl, as I call them, type kicks, the side-to-side concave, as you know, I normally have on the like the T1, the T2, just a tad bit more side-to-side concave on these. But yeah, check this out. These should be available here probably next week. I have a few of these pressed, but I'm going to get a nice stock of them ready to go. So yeah, and these will be able to, you know, you'll be able to add a graphic to these too. So check that out. Man, did you hear that pop? Yeah, I think that's the last thing before the big announcement. So nearly a year later, I finally have the first ones off the assembly line for the production run to show you guys. I'll break them down for you real quick. The ReVo skates finally in the house, represent consistent and just the way I wanted them to be. So basically, I'll run this down for you real quick. The first thing you notice, they have strings on them. Originally I wanted to do this where you could interchange them. Unfortunately, the string material is not such that it locks when you tighten it, so I had to tie these off in a bow, and then the knot area is super glued. Let's see what else is on here. Oh yeah, the left over here and right here boots are made slightly different in that the right one, which is your right finger that you use, or if you're left-handed, I guess it would be, they would need to be opposite. The one that fits on your foul finger here is a little wider in the opening, because you know everybody's finger is a little bit wider on this one. So I made that to compensate for that. I also did make these as wide as needed to be to fit my fingers. I do have kind of large size fingers. Now the reason for that is, you can make the hole smaller once you get them, but you can't make it bigger. So I made them about as big as they need to be, and everybody will receive a piece of foam tape. So if you have smaller fingers, you can just simply cut a piece of that and stick it inside that hole, and that'll make this hole smaller to fit your finger better. But these do fit my fingers a little tight, so they might likely fit in a large group of people's fingers. Right quick, because my camera battery is about to die, but as you can see, the way they mount is screw through the frames, through the sole plates, into the bottom of the boot. And I finally got this consistent to where I could literally take these off, switch the frames, the soles, everything. I was having a problem with that, and I do ride mine with the screw heads out. It's basically 2 machine screws. These particular ones, I have the pro level bearing wheels. They're dual bearing wheels made similar to like Roll 9s, V6s. And the frame and the sole plate is a hole all the way through, and the threading is on the bottom of the boot. And what you want to do is, you'll tighten these in. These will come assembled to you guys in various colors, when they're ready, probably here, hopefully by the end of the week. What I suggest to do is when you first get them, kind of unloosen these screws, the frames, the mounting screws, and then like half turn and then tighten them back so you can see how tight they are, because it's just like trucks. It's a plastic too, and the trucks are metal, but you can over tighten them, so you want to be careful. So if you get a feel for how they are at first, that might help you out. Just have a few colors. I brought a few of these home with me after pressing them today because I was at the shop all day working on them, but I have purple, red, blue. Yeah. So, and there's going to be more colors. This is just some I grabbed. And there is a chance that these little designs on the side and around will be painted just to give them a little color, either black or white, depending on the color of the boot. But you will be able to kind of pick and choose on these. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, but there'll be a wide variety of colors and things available. So yeah, just to let you guys know, nearly a year later, we finally have these ready to rock, and these will roll if I can get them to. They're pretty well balanced. You can't get that kind of roll out of beads or tech deck wheels. So they're smooth like butter. So check those out. They will be sold. I tell you this real quick, and then I got to bounce because my battery's about to die. But they will be sold 2 ways. The pro level bearing wheels will be $59 for a complete set. Will come with tools and everything, instructions in a box. And then the entry level, which will be the exact same wheel, but they won't have bearings. They're just machined with the hole the size of the for clearance on the wheel screw on the side. So both run equally smooth, but obviously the one with bearings would be a little smoother and last probably a bit longer. And these do have 8 bearings in these wheels total, just like dual bearing wheels do. Normally V6s are like $30 on the side, so that's half of the cost is in the wheels basically. So when you buy a complete set. So and there's also one other thing. Yeah, I'm getting ready to run out of time. There's a team together. David Simpson, Sitting Duck on YouTube, represents real hard, great guy, and Travis Lear, Trav Man. So that's where we're at on that. We might be looking for a couple more people. I've got some people I owe a couple sets to, and those guys. But I better shut up before it's too late. So yep, I appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging tight, being patient with me. I'm a little behind on emails and messages, but I'm working on them. Hang tight, and I'll get to you, I promise. Thanks for the continued support. Be sure to check out your ReVo finger aggressive inline skates in the next few days. Graphics, all that good stuff. The Comply is doing it as usual. So I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.